Throughout the Second World War, the men and women in the United States Army Air Forces protected and defended American values of life and liberty. They served abroad, including strategic bombing campaigns in the European theater. Major Harry Horatio Selling was a pilot during World War II and flew 7 bombing missions, on the last of which he was shot down over Berlin. And as the sole survivor, spent 9 months as a prisoner of war. His miraculous story follows.
Harry Selling was born on May 29, 1920 in Buffalo, New York. Before Harry was born, his parents owned a confection shop until Harry's father was fatally shot by a burglar, leaving his mother to raise him. When he was 5 years old, Harry and his mother moved to Los Angeles. During his childhood and after returning from service, Harry viewed his mother as a role model in his life. She ran the Roosevelt Hotel Beauty Shop on Hollywood Boulevard and meanwhile enrolled Harry in military school. He worked as a lackey and a riveter, earning 51 cents an hour and 6 cents for nights. Harry built Hudson bombers for Britain's Royal Air Force before joining the U.S. Army Air Forces. After quitting his job as a riveter, Harry enlisted on April 6, 1942, and was stationed in Peterborough in Europe, starting 8 months after enlistment on November 6, 1940. He was taught to fire a Thompson gun, a DAR, and how to land and take off a plane. During training, Harry flew Stearman's DT planes, UC-78s, and the Boeing B-17, a 4-engine heavy bomber used against German industrial and military targets.
When I got to my 457th Bomb Group, which is near Peterborough, I went on my first mission as a co-pilot, and my crew stood down. I went to them. They get you up at 3 in the morning. You have breakfast, and you go to briefing about 6. And you're sitting there with all these heroes, and you don't want to embarrass yourself. And I have on my hack watch so I can keep time when they tell us what time it is. I have a 45 tied with a thong on my leg, and I'm ready for war. We take off, and we climb up to about 8,500 feet, and he puts me in position. He says, "You fly it, don't run into anything." There was no respect. And when we get about 3.5 hours, he says, "I'll take over," and we're now on the initial point. And about 6 minutes, and finally they're trying to kill me.
This was Harry's first mission to Leipzig, a large city southwest of Berlin. When his squadron returned home after doing a 180 and hearing bombs away, there were over 50 holes on Harry's plane. After this mission, Harry was accepted by the others in the bomb group. He shook hands with the pilot and was told he could fly with them anytime.
You think of countries trying to kill each other, it is ugly. And if they're trying to shoot you out of the sky, they're good at it. It's just when two nations bring everything that they can to bear on your life, it's not good. In fact, when you start to examine man's ability to kill each other, it gets to be quite good.
On Harry's second mission, while flying the B-17, his tail gunner was wounded in the stomach. Even though the squadron leader told him to stay with the fleet, Harry knew they would have to return to the base quickly in order to save his crew member's life. He flew back 40 minutes before the rest of the fleet by staying near the Baltic.
We were bombing Germany, Berlin, Leipzig. Just war is ugly, and you were doing things that are ugly for us to do. We're bombing cities. This is as ugly as it can get. But that's my function, is to kill the enemy. And there's no different way to do it. Just get out there and do it.
On his 7th and final mission on September 12, 1944, Harry was piloting his B-17 bomber, named the American Eagle. It was a maximum effort mission targeting Ruhland, a town in Brandenburg, Germany. The American Eagle was attacked by FW-190s and exploded over Berlin after being hit by cannon shells in the pilot's compartment and bomb bay and catching fire.
This thing was very early in the morning, and we had just taken off, and my upper turret gun started firing. So I saw to the left he was shooting at a we have two gunners, one in the east waist, and he was firing at a Focke-Wulf 190. It's a round engine plane, and the next thing I knew, the plane went into a vertical climb, hammerhead stall, and then started spinning. Next thing I knew, I fell out the back. Unfortunately, I awakened in time to get up, to live. Otherwise, I would have died there. But the fact that I was living, because meant I was awake. It was a weird thing.
Harry was the sole survivor. His co-pilot, Lieutenant Floyd D. French, and 7 other crew members were killed in action. Harry's survival was a miracle when he parachuted out at 800 feet after awakening just in time. Yes.
I do. When you think of what happened to me, the bullets didn't hit me. They awakened me in time. And when I got on the ground, the people attacked me physically. I mean, they're just all over me. And it was, well, they were killing me, but I was able to have a guardian angels stop the killing.
He was taken as a prisoner of war in Stalag Luft I for 9 months, a prison camp of about 10,000 people near Barth on the Baltic. The conditions in the prison camp were gruesome.
We're cold, we're hungry. There was 20 to a camp, to a room, and this. When you think that the water in the room is frozen, you don't need to say anything more than that. 20 to a room, 3 decks, 3 levels.
Wow.
I got down to 114. When you think about 114, that hardly keeps everything together.
Yeah.
After Harry was freed from Stalag I, he readjusted to civilian life back in the United States. He lived with his mother and attended the University of Southern California through the GI Bill, a piece of legislation that provided benefits such as education and college tuition to veterans. Harry joined the lumber business and started a company with a $12 million line of credit. He also married his wife Charlotte, as well as kept in touch with friends from the service.
Following his service, Harry received numerous awards and recognitions, including the Air Medal, which is awarded for achievement during aerial flights, and the Purple Heart, which is the oldest military award still given to U.S. military members and is awarded in the name of the President for those wounded or killed while serving. Harry also received the World War II Victory Medal for his service in the war, along with the American Defense and American Theater Service Medals. The most important lesson that Harry learned from his time in service was that this too shall pass. He would give this advice to his younger self and to his comrades as well. Harry is currently a member of the Freedom Committee of Orange County and volunteers as a docent at the Leon Air Museum. His remarkable story as the sole survivor and prisoner of war will serve to inspire future generations. Thank you for your service to our nation.